Alright folks, welcome back to another video. We're finally going to get right into getting our tools set up to start coding and making apps and getting right into it. So the editor that iPhone apps are most popularly made with is none other than Xcode. And before I even actually jump right into the App Store, you need a Macintosh to create iPhone apps for the sake of using Xcode. You can of course build it in other editors, but it's far more complex and much more tedious and arduous to do. So you will need a Mac. Unfortunately, if you don't have one, it certainly does not mean you can't follow along in this course and get the fundamentals down. But having a Mac, of course, to follow along is a requirement. And with that being said, we're going to be downloading Xcode, and we're going to jump into the App Store here. And I think hopefully it goes without saying, but if you could be on the latest version that your computer supports of Mac OS, that would certainly be of help. If it's not the latest that Apple has released, that's fine, as long as you have one of the latest versions for your respective environment. That would be much appreciated. With that being said, let's search Xcode. So here we go. We have Xcode. It's made by Apple, and I actually already have it installed, of course, as I live in Xcode most of my life. But Xcode essentially is a development environment which gives you a lot of the tooling and infrastructure, if I may, to create applications, whether it's for the Mac or iPhone or iPad. In this case, we're focusing on iOS. But in here, we can create our user interfaces, we can write the code, we have the simulator, which comes bundled with Xcode to run our applications. The simulator that you saw in the very first video where we went through an example of what you might be building later on. It comes with a variety of other tools as well, called instrumentation tools. So we're going to download this and get this installed. And it is a fairly large application. You will probably need around 5 to 6 gigabytes of free storage. I recommend having 8, as Xcode loves to cache stuff as we simulate and build our applications and we add in resources. So I recommend having some space. So once you have that downloaded and installed, it of course downloads, unzips, and installs. Once you open it up, you'll be greeted with a window similar to this. And of course, on the right here, I have some projects that I've recently been working on. Over here, we have some getting started tools. We have an option to create a new project. We have an option to create a playground. Up here in the toolbar, we also have several options, of which we're going to be learning many of them. Of course, creating new projects, things about Xcode itself. And yeah, let's actually just create a new project and just pick whatever the default options are and just call it project, and just keep pressing enter and let it save it wherever it wants to save it for now, just so you can see what we're going to be working with. So this might look very intimidating initially, and I promise you it looked intimidating to myself and every other person that started with this. But as time goes on, we're going to be learning how to use all of these things. And another thing I want to point out is I actually accidentally clicked the default options, and this is actually showing everything in Objective-C, and we're not going to be using Objective-C, so don't fret. We'll be switching to Swift. But yeah, this is essentially what Xcode looks like. So I will see you in the next video after you have Xcode downloaded and installed, so we can walk through it and get an idea of where everything is. Thanks.